Phase 2 Fathom. Scratch Creek is the latest entry in the psychological horror anthology series, once again telling a self-contained story inspired by supposedly real events. Rather than relying on constant jump scares, the game builds tension through ordinary situations that slowly become increasingly unsettling. It captures the feeling that something isn't right long before the danger fully reveals itself. The question is whether Scratch Creek continues the series' reputation for grounded horror, or if the formula is beginning to lose its impact. Pros and cons. On the positive side, the atmosphere is incredibly effective from start to finish. The realistic setting makes every encounter feel believable. Sound design constantly builds tension without becoming overwhelming. The pacing is carefully controlled, allowing suspense to grow naturally. The environmental storytelling also keeps players invested throughout the experience. On the downside, the game is fairly short. Exploration is limited by its linear structure. Some players may find the slow build-up too deliberate, and replay value is fairly limited once the story has been completed. Gameplay. Like previous entries in the series, Scratch Creek focuses on exploration, interaction, and survival rather than combat. You spend most of your time investigating locations, completing simple tasks, and paying close attention to your surroundings. The gameplay intentionally feels ordinary during the opening sections. Driving, walking through quiet environments, and interacting with everyday objects all contribute to a sense of realism. That normality is exactly what makes the horror work. As strange events begin to occur, the contrast becomes increasingly unsettling. Objectives remain simple throughout the game, allowing players to focus on the atmosphere rather than complicated mechanics. You'll inspect clues, solve light environmental puzzles, and make decisions while trying to understand what is happening around you. The game avoids overusing scripted scares. Instead, it creates tension through uncertainty via small visual details, unexpected sounds, and subtle environmental changes keep players questioning whether they're actually safe. Story and atmosphere. Scratch Creek tells a grounded story that slowly escalates from an ordinary situation into psychological horror. The writing feels believable, with realistic dialogue and situations that make the events easier to relate to. The game's greatest strength is how it builds suspense. Instead of immediately introducing supernatural threats, it allows anxiety to grow naturally. Every empty road, abandoned building, and quiet forest path feels increasingly uncomfortable as the story progresses. This slower pacing creates a constant feeling of vulnerability. Even when nothing is happening, the game successfully keeps players on edge. Visuals and audio. Visually, Scratch Creek continues the series' signature found footage inspired presentation. The realistic environments, subtle lighting, and intentionally simple visual style help reinforce immersion rather than distract from it. The sound design is easily one of the strongest aspects of the experience. Ambient noises, distant footsteps, rustling trees, and subtle background sounds constantly build tension. Silence is often used just as effectively as loud scares, making every unfamiliar noise feel significant. Final verdict. Fears to Fathom. Scratch Creek successfully continues the anthology's formula by focusing on grounded storytelling, believable environments, and psychological suspense rather than cheap horror tricks. While the short runtime and limited replayability prevent it from becoming a larger experience, its careful pacing and effective atmosphere make it another strong entry in the series. If you enjoy slow-burning psychological horror that relies on realism and constant tension instead of non-stop jump scares. Scratch Creek is absolutely worth experiencing. Final score, 8.4 out of 10.